Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for me. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. Before we get into everything, some of you may obviously be aware, but Plymouth has had a serious incident tonight where there has been a shooting. We don't know the casualties or the amount of fatalities at this moment. As many of you all know, I am a Plymouth boy myself, so it really has hit quite hard. Plymouth Argyle have tweeted saying, "Our hearts go out to all the victims of tonight's tragic incident in our city, alongside their families, friends, and the wider Plymouth community." On a night like tonight, where rivalries do not matter, where football does not matter, Exeter City have tweeted out saying, "Our thoughts are with you, Plymouth." I, as a Plymouth fan, thank Exeter to the bottom of my heart for their kind words. And my thoughts and prayers go out to everyone involved in the incident, and we wish everyone as well as can be. But that's on that. But as always, football, we must continue. But I wanted to start off tonight's show by obviously paying tribute to everyone who has also lost their lives tonight in that incident in Plymouth. Some comments here. Brandon says James Garner going to Nottingham Forest. Velv says, "I'm so gassed, released my first article on LFC Transfer Room. Congratulations to Velvishwan." Aaron says, "Thoughts and prayers to everyone affected in Plymouth tonight." I completely agree. Willock to Newcastle is just a deal Magpies needed and wanted, as he helped them to survival last season, because it was a great season for them last year. Our hearts and prayers go out to everyone affected in Plymouth's incident. We are all sending condolences to all the victims and families in Plymouth tonight and across the country. Completely agree, Dylan. Max says, "Prayers to Plymouth, all thoughts and hearts to the families, and nice to see the Exeters is kind towards their rivals, as is everyone else. So sorry to hear about that. Thoughts are with you all tonight." Thank you, Devon. And Dylan says, "Congrats, Velvishwan, on writing your writing work for Liverpool lately." And thanks, Dylan. Congrats on your GCSE results. Well deserved. And of course, rivalries go out the window when this happens. Class act by Exeter and other clubs. I messaged you straight away, mate, to see if you were all right, and as have many people, and I appreciate all of that. But we must get back to the football, even in these times. So what we're going to be talking about tonight, we're going to be talking about Ramsdale, who is apparently gutted over the breakdown of his transfer to Arsenal. We're also talking James Garner. James Garner has rejected a new contract at Manchester United and is keeping his options open. That is according to Sport O'Keefe. We're also talking Harry Kane because Manchester City are set to make another bid for the English striker. This new bid is a lot more than what they did previously. Chelsea have signed Romelu Lukaku, so we're obviously going to be talking about that as well. And of course, as mentioned, Joe Willock to Newcastle is almost done. So let's start with Aaron Ramsdale. Thank you. Plymouth, I want to say all the people in the city, you have been a great place and team in football, and appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. And the victims of this incident should be noticed. City to spend up 250 million on Kane and Grealish. Nala to City fans saluted. Not right now. I mean, there's been a lot of love on their Twitter for us people in Plymouth, for my home city. So right now, I watched the stream where Garner Express was on. He said he won't back Ramsdale if he joined. Unbelievable. Are you okay now after hearing that? I want to know how my bro is feeling, because I'd hate to see you down all throughout the night. I'm fine. Obviously, shook to the core. It's not something you'd necessarily expect to hear or see. So yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. Big up to DC. Right, that's everything. Let's go to Nzabi. I completely, yeah. Nala, you doing a league on the channel for the fantasy? I am. It is currently posted on our Twitter page. If you aren't joined on our Twitter page, if you go to our preview show on Monday that we did, we did that. The link is in the description for that. What happened? DC, basically, there's been a major incident in Plymouth, a firearm incident. That's all we know at the moment. Yeah. So, let's start with Aaron Ramsdale, shall we? So Aaron Ramsdale is apparently gutted, as you would imagine. So this was reported earlier. Understand Aaron Ramsdale is gutted about his move to Arsenal breaking down. Sheffield United is asking if he's proven too much for Arsenal. You'll have informed the player they are now moving on to other targets. This comes as no real surprise, really. I mean, Sheffield United wanted an ungodly amount of money for a championship keeper, which realistically, right now, Aaron Ramsdale is. Whether I agree that he has a talent, and I think he did. I think he is. This was inevitable. When the figure of 50 million is being bandied around just for fun, I mean, people need to take a step back and analyze the situation, because that's horrific. To spend 50 million pound on a goalkeeper. Kepa was 72 million. So bear that in mind. I think Sheffield United are hugely out of order here. I understand that Aaron Ramsdale is a player of theirs. So yeah, I just think, yeah, I think Sheffield United probably made a mistake. I think they could have absolutely put the price down a little bit more. Look, for me, for Ramsdale, 25 million, that's fair enough. But when we're banding around more than that, then yeah, it's a bit insane. It is a bit insane. Mustafa says, what accident happened? Yeah, a firearm accident or incident has happened in Plymouth. So yeah. Ramsdale ain't even worth 25 million. I think 20 or 25, probably fair. 50 million for Ramsdale, that's an absolute disgrace. 15, 20 would be more realistic. That was the accident. Oh, right, yeah. The news sounds very serious. I looked it up. It is very serious. It is very serious. But people in Plymouth just need to, follow the police advice. Stay indoors. Don't go out. The sort of stuff there. DC, as long as we notice this is a massive report, and also realise that the people who have major casualties have their whole families and the whole of the city shocked and horrified by this news. Was it near you? Don't have to answer. It's not near me. It's not near me. But it's still shocking. West Ham are edging closer to Milenkovic. At this rate, we'll sign him in 2024. Happened where I am from years ago. Yeah, it shocks you to the core. But no, Ramsdale is gutted. As you'd understand. But moving on, let's talk James Garner. James Garner has rejected a new contract at Manchester United and is keeping his options open. That is according to Pete O'Reilly, I think, or Sports PO. Basically, from what I'm gathering, James Garner is unsure about his place at United. I think for a player like James, he's probably looking at that midfield and thinking, I'm better than all of them. Realistically, he's better than McTominay, better than Fred. And yes, it didn't work out with him at Watford, which is true. It didn't. That's fine to say. Believe it or not, it doesn't always work out as a club. I think we can all name at least one signing that has gone to one club not being successful and gone to another and being successful. I mean, Kevin De Bruyne is a prime example. Wasn't successful at Chelsea, went to Werder Bremen, ended up at Man City being very successful. So I'm not comparing James Garner to obviously Kevin De Bruyne, but yeah, I think that's the sort of the level of it. I think that Garner is, I think Garner's. I don't think Garner wants first team football. I think that's the key thing to take away from all of this. And again, his contract is up next week. Well, not next week, next year. So I think United have fucked up again royally, because James is a talent, and if they lose him, I think they're really losing out on a really promising young talent. Who do you blame for this? I don't know. I think James wants reassurances. I think, and rightly so. I mean, this is his career. It's his career. So I think he's just, maybe anxious, maybe wanting that sort of reassurance. He's not just going to rot in the reserves or rot on the bench or at Old Trafford. And sometimes you see that, and I think we have to commend James for taking this approach, because he doesn't want to just sit down the bench and rot in the reserves. He wants to go out and get first team football, and I think for some players that's really key, and it's good to see that he has got that mentality about him. So it's certainly an interesting one. It's one we'll keep our eyes on. It's interesting that United apparently won't let him go out on loan unless he signs a new contract. So James may be staying at Old Trafford for this season, and they may look to leave in the next season. And how much of a loss will that be to United? I think it would be huge. But no, I commend James for taking this stance, and I actually back him. I actually do. I've got to say he's class act for not doing the easy thing and just signing a new contract at United, sitting on the bench forever. We all know that United will sign new central midfielders for 50 million plus. You will indeed. Will you end up being the one who has to buy James Garner back in years to come because he's become that good? Maybe not, but he's still a talent. And is he better than Fred? Yeah, of course he's fucking better than Fred. Is he better than McTominay? I am better than McTominay. So I think, yeah, you have to applaud him for taking this stance. Our next one is Harry Kane. Manchester City are not giving up on Harry Kane. Manchester City's board are preparing a new bid for €150 million. If Spurs' stance will change. Tottenham have not received any new proposal for Kane yet and want to keep him. Manchester City's strategy is to be ready and wait. Manchester City are preparing their new bid for Harry Kane for around €150 million and would include add-ons if necessary to convince Spurs. Tottenham will still hope to keep Kane, but Man City are not giving up. Bid will be ready. That is an exclusive story from Fabrizio Romano. It's no longer exclusive, really, because we're not the ones breaking it. But that was the story from Romano. Where do I see that? Where do I sort of sit on this? What do I think will happen? Well, I think it's very simple. I think Kane goes to City. I think Tottenham are in the mud and are a disgrace to London. And very simple. I think Kane will go to City. If that happens, they're favourites for the title. Well, I mean, they're already favourites now, but a lot of rivals questioning financial fair play. I'm one of them. I would say I question how they can even afford this. They've not sold anyone. Pep spoke about Grealish spending 40 million and getting 60 million transfer fees. They've not sold anyone yet. So let's not lie, Pep. You are a pathological bold liar. And it's a disgrace to the nation and the sport. Because no players have been sold. So we can't say that, we can't say that a player, you've raised so much when you've not sold a fucking thing. That's simply just not true. That's just a fat ass lie. So I do understand it. I think he does go see, and I think they probably get away with it. I mean, it is Manchester City at the end of the day, so they seem to get away with an awful lot, don't they? So that is just Manchester City for you. Devon says it's going to be such a shit season for Spurs if Kane doesn't move. I can guarantee that he will not be happy, and it will impact the dressing room. I've no doubt it will. I've no doubt it will, because you've got an unhappy player. Simply put, he's unhappy. So we'll see how that goes. We will see how that goes. Moving on to Romelu Lukaku. This one, very simple. Chelsea and Inter set to announce both Romelu Lukaku and Edin Dzeko's deals. Lukaku joined Chelsea on a permanent deal for 150 million euros. Dzeko joins Inter on a free transfer. Roma will receive 1.5 million in case Inter will qualify to next year's Champions League. So, very simply put, and obviously, Romano then went on to say in another tweet, confirmed Romelu Lukaku joined Chelsea on a permanent deal from Inter for 150 million euros. He'll receive 12 million euros net season plus add-ons as salary. It's the biggest sale in Serie A history. Big Rom's back at Stamford Bridge. This is a great signing for Chelsea. It's precisely what they needed. And I think Rom's going to do an absolutely fantastic job at Chelsea. I think there's a gaping hole in that Chelsea squad. that is a striker. And for me, Lukaku is a great striker. And yeah, you can banter me or banter, or you like saying that he was fat, he didn't have a great season, second season at United. He still scored a lot of goals though. He still scored a lot of goals. So in terms of that, I think it's a very good deal for Chelsea. Some comments here. Man City get away with everything, whatever happened. 10 getting banned in the Champions League. Well, that one's quite simple. They fought it in court. This is a big move for Chelsea. If he can bag 15 or more, that's a big season. I completely agree. Completely agreed. Lukaku back at Chelsea. I'm no longer supporting West Ham. I can't do Lukaku fucking us again. I hear that. Big up now. How many goals in the Prem alone can Lukaku get? I think 15 to 20 is probably a realistic expectation. And don't forget, he's got better since that United spell as well. So, yeah, 15, 20 goals, something around that. The last story before I do open the lines up is Joe Willock, of course. Well, actually, before we do Joe Willock, let's go back to Lukaku. I've just got one more bit there that I want to read out. He has said, I'm happy, blessed to be back at this wonderful club. I've supported Chelsea as a kid. The way the club is going fits my ambitions perfectly, and just coming off winning Serie A. This opportunity comes at the right time, and we can have a lot of success together. That's what Big Rom said. On to Joe Willock now, the last bit before I do open the lines up for you lot to have your say. Newcastle set to sign Joe Willock. Joe Willock has agreed personal terms with Newcastle per Mike McGrath and Footy Insider 247 for permanent move from Arsenal, the 21-year-old, to head north today and expected to start medical tomorrow morning before completing a move for a fee of above £20 million. That's from The Athletic. This one, I think, this is exactly what Newcastle need. Let's not kid ourselves. It is what they need. It's a really, really good bit of business, I think, for Newcastle. I think he is precisely what they need. If I'm a Newcastle fan, I am still really annoyed that you're only getting, Willock. But yeah, I think it's a great signing, though. It's a great signing, exactly what they need as well, though. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the link in the chat now. So if anyone does want to come on and have a chat about anything that we're talking about, then do. Now did not recognise Willock, thought it was one of the guys in JLS at first. I hear that. My prayers for with the families affected. I completely agree. Just tweeted about the incident. You can go and look at it if you want. Niall, I will do after the stream. Only club not to have made a permanent signing up the bastards. Irons. Have you not made a permanent signing yet? That's a bit crazy. I thought you'd have made a permanent signing by now. I really, really thought you would have. But yeah, what we're talking about today, for anyone that isn't new, has just popped up, is this. So we're talking now Ramsdale to Arsenal. We're talking James Garner rejecting his bid at Manchester United. We're also talking Harry Kane, and potential move to City. We're also talking Romelu Lukaku's transfer to Chelsea done, and we're also talking Joe Willock's deal to Newcastle. So if anyone does want to come on, the link is in the chat for you to talk about any of those situations. So yeah, Chris says, big up now, my heart, thoughts and prayers go out to everyone affected in the Plymouth incident. Liverpool, we got to beat Norwich, can't sleep on them, got to be on our A game. I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. You do. Yeah. I'm not sure why lots of people have started following. I had a list called journalists, and people just started following it. But yeah, look, if anyone wants to come on, the link is in the chat for you to come on and have your say. Obviously, tomorrow we're not going to be live for Transfer Talk because we've got the Argyle versus Gillingham. Then we've got Chelsea, Liverpool, and United shows. Saturday, we've got United versus Leeds, Norwich versus Liverpool, Swansea versus Sheffield United, all watch-alongs that is. And then Sunday, we've got Newcastle, West Ham watch-along, Spurs, Man City watch-along, and Argyle Gillingham match review. So yeah, that is that. 21 hours left till the Premier League. Yeah, that is correct. I still think Kane to Man City is happening. Yes, I really, really do. So yeah, it really, really is. I think the whole situation with Kane is just unbelievable right now. I thought he had that deal already done. Not Kane. So yeah. Sorry to hear about the Plymouth incident. No, thank you, Ravi. Do you think Man City will offer player plus cash for Kane? Well, I've always thought they would. But what player? That's the question. Because for a player plus cash deal, you have to find a player willing to move. Are any of the City players... So there's two ways of looking at this. There's which City players are willing to go to Spurs. So that's question number one you've got to ask yourselves. Question number two you have to ask yourselves is realistically which players want to move. So which players want to move, and realistically which players do Tottenham want. So there's a lot of questions that with not a lot of answers. There's a lot of questions but not a lot of answers. So very difficult, I think, to work out how they'll do it, because I think you look at the likes of Sterling or Bernardo Silva or Mahrez or Jesus. Realistically, those are four players that maybe City are looking at offloading. Sterling won't go to Spurs. Jesus, I doubt he'll go to Spurs. I think he'll probably think he's too good, believe it or not. Then you got the Mahrez. Wrong position. It also has to be a striker. I think that's the key as well. It has to be a striker, because they're losing a striker, so they're going to want a striker. It's why if United offered Martial plus cash, you might get him, because Martial is somewhat of a striker. I don't think Jesus goes to Spurs. I think he's won a lot at City, so he'll want to stay at City. So yeah, it's ridiculously tough, man. It is ridiculously tough. So yeah, there's that as well. A few years ago, someone in my city, like 20 hours away, went on a rampage with a knife or machete or something, killed like 5 people. It is sad. That's shocking, actually. Can you DM me the FPL code, mate? I can. I will sort that for you. Arsenal to look at Johnson instead now. Realistically, probably. West Brom were always somewhat okay with letting him go, weren't they? So, yeah, I think that is something that, conceivably could happen. I think didn't West Brom want something like 20 million for him? So yeah, it's very much like that. So yeah. So I just read a couple of things. Can Leicester win the Europa League? Oh, what a question. What a question. Why not? Why not? I think they can. I absolutely think they can. Why can't they? So yeah, I would completely agree. Yeah. Also, if, I doubt people watching me if they've got footage of what happened in Plymouth. But if you have genuinely got footage or pictures, don't be a fucking twat and put it online, you absolute piece of shit. Or, you know, putting shit like, oh my god. Do you know what? Social media never astounds me. Yeah, fucking idiots, a lot of them. But yeah, if anyone's had footage and you post it online, please seek medical attention for your bloody head, you sick fuck. You know, from the bottom of my soul, go get yourself sorted, because that's quite sickening. Just remember that is someone's, you know, mother, wife, husband, father, brother, sister, son, daughter. Just bear that in mind, yeah. But yes, I think Leicester can absolutely win the Europa League. I think they're one of the favourites, are they not? I think the only issue of Leicester right now is that centre back. I think that centre back is key, because Fofana's out for a while now, so we know that. Johnny Evans is out as well, so there's a lot of, you know, people out. So yeah, very difficult. If they get that centre back, then yeah, I can see it working. But yeah, I could see them doing it. Some more comments. I live in the country. Yeah, nice. I could see Bernardo Silva being swayed by a move, to be fair. I think he was one. He is, but I think he's being lined up by Atletico Madrid. Also, again, not a striker. I think Spurs will want a striker. So Jesus is really the only one to offer. Couldn't work. Could work. Could absolutely work. On Doku, yeah. I think City will offer a lot of clauses in Kane's contract. What do you mean? Christopher, I think West Ham have a good go at Europa will fall short. Yeah, squad depth is abysmal for them. Arsenal should look at Martinez guy. I've heard he's quite good. Probably costs a bit there. Yeah. I'm sure for Arsenal fans and Arsenal themselves, it's always good when you sell someone who's turned out to be better and bigger than your current goalkeeper. Ben would Burnstone Liverpool, bloody hell. Why would Madison want to downgrade? I agree. Don't think Leicester have the squad depth to do well in Europe, to be honest. Yeah, I think squad depth is a major issue. I think going forward, squad depth isn't an issue. I think at the back it's a huge fucking issue. So they need to maybe get 3-4 centre backs in. Yeah, but I do think squad depth might. But Fofana and Evans will be back for knockouts. So if Leicester can get through the groups and, you know, still maintain somewhat of a good Premier League campaign during that time, I think maybe they could give it a shout. Pep Linders is an idiot. I think Danny Ings' move flew away and too under the radar this window. He's a great player. There was no talks, rumour, transfer. It just kind of happened. Villa moved mad this window. They knew they were losing Grealish. They went and replaced Grealish with so much. Insane. That's how it should be done, Devon. Yes, I agree. Devon will see those types of signings, for instance, Fabinho to Liverpool, so unexpected. I agree, but nobody talking about it. It was a big move. Ingsley, a great striker. It's good, Villa. Yeah, Villa were good. Best scout to Leicester is done deal. Nice. That's at least one more centre back. I think they're also looking at Kabak, aren't they? That would be a good signing, I think. I don't think the Foxes have a big enough squad to compete on all fronts. I don't think they do. I think Leicester compete in the league and Europe. I don't think they do the FA Cup or Carabao Cup. It wouldn't surprise me if they shut themselves out quite early. Depends on who drops from Champions League group stages into Europa League. Yeah, I agree with that. Southampton gone down if we get James Ward-Prowse. I agree. Niall, do you think it will take a long time for Virgil van Dijk to get back to his best? I think it will take time. I do. Southampton won't go down. I think people underestimating the Saints. I think people underestimated how stupid Velvish one is today. People who post that shit are so messed up. Yeah, I agree. I think Southampton will go down this year. Bertrand gone, Ings and Vestergaard gone now. Yes. Yeah, that's a lot of people gone. He's done really well for our youth teams. Look good in pre-season. You can do anything in the You can do anything in the youth teams and not succeed. Catch the updated FIFA rankings. I have not. No disrespect, Pep. Well, don't say stupid shit like Ben Woodburn has a future at Liverpool. He simply just does not. People posting this stuff on Twitter for clicks, so sad. It is. I could see Villa finishing in top 6 this year. I know that it's a shout, but they have a solid team. Yeah, I think Villa are going to do well. Velview Joker, you do crack me up. Yeah, he is very much a joker. But we are joined by Max. Max, how are we doing?
I am shook. Just like you, I am shook. I've just Googled it, and I've just seen what everyone's been saying, like reporting and everything, and what every reporter's been saying, and what the Cornwall police have said, and Devon police. It's horrific. As I've tweeted out about like 3 times now. I've done 3 separate tweets on the same time, but it is massive. And I really do send all my heart out to the casualties and fatalities. Well, families of those.
Yeah,
really.
Obviously, it's shocking the news. And
apparently,
yeah,
it happened in Keyham. It happened in Keyham, apparently.
Yeah,
or Keyham.
It did happen in Keyham. But yeah, no, it's shocking, and there's bound to be a minute's silence at Home Park on Saturday for
I'll be joining in with that. I think pretty much. I think Hull will do it as well, because I think everyone will.
I think a lot of teams will, but yeah, what want to talk about, mate?
I've been closely drawn to the last 3 deals: Kane, Lukaku, and Willock. Obviously, as I said in the chat, Willock would be a very good signing for Newcastle. He helped them quite a lot. To, I think it was 12th, was it, last season? When it was a very rough start for the Magpies, and I could see why. Steve Bruce did get them up a little bit. They did start winning games. Then they signed Joe Willock on loan. It turned up very well. It turned on its head. Everyone was quite surprised at it. It would be a good signing. If you don't think it's a good signing, then you might want to look again at what happened last season. Not saying you're stupid, but just go have a look back at what he did last season. He scored in pretty much every game. He assisted quite a bit of people. Callum Wilson, an example. Alexander-Maximin, Almiron. He helped he linked up with all those people, as you'd expect a player to do from a top club like Arsenal. It's a very good signing. I asked my mate today, because he said Newcastle looking to sign Joe Willock. I've said he'd probably be in around like he'd probably be in around like the 30 million mark to 50 to like 30 million mark, because like he's not the most expensive midfielder. I can tell you that much, but he's not like a 10 million. He's not like a 15 million. So that'd be a good signing for them. But moving down south to North London, Kane, like he obviously missed training. He tweeted something out. I can't exactly remember what he said. He said I think he said he refused to say whether he didn't want to go to training or anything. But to sign him for like to spend like so much money on Grealish and Kane, like yes, you need a new striker after Aguero went, because obviously he went to Barcelona to play with Messi. I guess that didn't work properly, but it's hard to see because Daniel Levy obviously don't want him to go. Son probably don't want him to go either because they link up very well. But Kane, like, he is a good player. He's at a team that can't win anything at the moment. Don't know why that is. Maybe because the other players are fit, or they just can't link up well. But that's absolutely fine. All the owners are bringing them down. Who knows? But behind the scenes is not the point. Harry Kane, he's a good player. He links up with people really well. He did in England in the last like 5 games or so, and he did do well. And it's not a bad thing to say that it's a shit move, but it's better than Grealish in my opinion, because they need a new striker. Aguero's out the window. Liam Delap's probably going to be going out on loan to a Championship side.
Yeah,
Jesus is going to be the only striker up top, so they need a backup. So if they do sign Kane, they can put him up top and then Jesus as a backup on the bench, and they can switch them around. Or I don't know, because Grealish, like he's not really the best to go up front. I mean, let's just say that. But then we move across to the blue side of London. Lukaku, he is a good player. He was at Chelsea. He was at Man United. Chelsea missed out on him about 4 years ago when he went to United. They tried to sign him. He couldn't go, so United went for him, got him through. Didn't perform too well at United. He performed okay, just not the best. Then he moved to Inter. He's won quite a little bit at Inter. He's done quite well. He's scored quite a few goals. He's got a couple of assists. If he goes back, he's going to go back to Chelsea. I think there's no real doubt about that. But the real thing for me is he's a good player. He knows how he can link up with players. He's like Kane. He can link up with anyone. With him and Werner in the side, they're just going to tear the defenses apart in most games. With Pulisic on the right, I think he plays on the left. With Pulisic on the left, or whoever on the left, and then Ziyech on the right, Havertz in the cam position, that is a strong looking team, and I can't blame Chelsea for going for him. Like, he would have been better than Kane, in my opinion, anyway. Even if they did get Kane. Like, he's such a good player. He's so talented. He knows what he can do with the ball. If he gets the ball, he knows what he's going to do with it, and he's going to go for it. Him and Werner up top, if they play 4-4-2, then him and Werner can just go ping, 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 goal. That's going to be the advantage for Chelsea. They're going to have so many options. If one of them gets injured, there's another thing. If one of them gets booked or something, they can take one off, put one on. Chelsea have such a massive advantage. I'm doing a Premier League predictions like tomorrow or Saturday on my channel, and it's going to be mad because Chelsea are going to rip up this league, I bet, next season. They may not rip up the Champions League, but they'll definitely have a great shot at the Premier League. Phantom said, I remember him saying they can win like 2 or 3 trophies. I'm like, maybe 1, maybe 2, not 3. But Lukaku Good signing for Chelsea. He knows what he does with the ball. He's a good clinical finisher at most points. He's coming back home. Some have already said it's already been announced. His medical's already complete. They're just waiting for Chelsea to just see if he can play this weekend. I doubt he can, but it is what it is. But Kane's like Lukaku. He can score goals. He can make assists sometimes. Can link up with players very well, as you saw with Kane and Son last season. And then with Willock, he just bossed the Newcastle 11. Really, he took them to survival, and all three of them are good signings. I can't see them all flopping. Ramsdale also, like, I'd probably be gutted as well if I had the chance to go to a bigger club. Like with him, he's made so many saves in Championship not Championship, Premier League with Sheffield United. He's such a good goalkeeper. I think he's underrated sometimes. He doesn't get the amount of praise that he should do. But every signing that on this transfer talk tonight is a very good signing. I'm not going to lie. Ramsdale's gutted. I feel bad for you, but Lukaku's gone back home to Stamford Bridge. Kane might be going to City. That's a good signing for a backup for Hayes. Or Jesus is a good backup for him. And then Willock's a good survival chaser. He could make Newcastle link up more and make them survive. So my thoughts have just been like, right, Chelsea are going. My thoughts have been Chelsea are going to rip up this league in a minute. Man City are going to spend are going to reach the 1 billion mark, and Newcastle are going to have another survival season. They're my thoughts. They're my predictions, and that's just what it is. But that's my thoughts on every single transfer, apart from obviously the Man United one. But I don't really know what to say with that one. But just before I stop talking, I just want to say Plymouth, we stand as one.
Yeah, obviously some more comments have come out. What happened in Plymouth? There was a shooting. Devon says Aguero's are tied up in a legal battle now with Barca as he's looking to be released. Liam said tonight has been shocking for our city. We thank Exeter for their kind words tonight as much as we banter them. We thank them for this, and the person with the gun shot himself. Fucking hell. That's what I've had in my head. Obviously, that is all speculative.
One of them has been confirmed dead. The shooters. One of them has been confirmed dead. But there must have been like 2 or 3.
There was only the one shooter, I believe. No, it was only the one shooter, I believe. Can happen anywhere. A lot of Europeans, for some reason, think school shootings is a topic of banter and with Americans. And Mel with the gun is an idiot because he shot his kid and wife. He shot his kid and wife. I mean, this is all speculations. I won't read that.
Wow.
It can happen anywhere. So now that Lukaku is official, how many goals is he getting this season?
I've said 24 to 27 or 26.
I think 15 to 20 would be realistic.
Probably
I shouldn't say a lot.
maximum.
A few idiots online. Yeah, there's a few. I think we need to ban guns everywhere in the world. It's disgraceful. Look, I'm not about to weigh in on. I'm not about to weigh in on the gun crime debate.
It's the people with the gun license. They think they can do fucking anything with it. Yeah. It's a disgrace.
No, I'm not about to use my YouTube channel to weigh in on a political debate about gun crime. I mean, God knows.
I think we just need to keep this as a day where we need to forget. Really, it's just yes, we remember all the people. Who what?
Well, cowards. Coward. Coward. Yeah.
I thought the police shot him, but all right, that's fine. But
Yeah, I agree. Now with now 15-20 realistic. Yeah, I mean, I think he'll still bag a lot of goals.
Between the two of him and
really
Werner,
ban
I'd probably say 24, 25-ish.
Couldn't really ban them. It's a tough one. But look, we are going to wrap it up there. We'll be back tomorrow. We've got all the shows. We've got Argyle versus Gillingham. That obviously, is as far as I'm aware still going ahead. So yeah.
I hope it does, but then I don't know whether fans will be allowed there, because
I think fans.
to stay safe here.
I think fans will.
They'll definitely be 1 minute silence, though. There definitely will be.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you'd assume.
Even if Hull City don't do one, I'm still going to do one, because it's an absolute disgrace what's happened tonight. But I guess what we have to do is just remember the people that have died, and also remember the people that have major casualties right now. They are getting treated. It's the latest update, but we just have to remember them and try and move on. But yeah, all my respect, and from the bottom of my heart goes down to Plymouth. So.
I think Chelsea will destroy most defences. I agree. Arsenal to lose their first game, possible. Minute silence at home should 100% go ahead. Yeah. Obviously,
as soon as it sends, I'm off to my career mode.
Let me just finish this up. I think it will. I think Argyle will. They're very much a club that does that. Argyle, what's news on Tammy Abraham? I haven't really got any new info on that. Me and I will talk about this tomorrow, sadly. We'll touch on it. We're not gonna, we'll share our thoughts again, but we're not. I
wouldn't go too deep into it, but
we're not. It's not happening. I don't care what people think. We're not going deep into this. We're a football YouTube channel. We're not equipped to deal with this in any way, shape, or form. But yes, what's your feelings on Kane? I think it'll happen, but we are going to wrap it up there. I am going to go. But before we do go, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. And yeah, Max, where can they find you, mate?
You can find me on MaxTagHD official on Instagram, on Twitter at YouTube_MaxTagHD. I've put a lot of tweets out on this incident. On YouTube, MaxTagHD, I'll be doing some videos. I'll be doing a Premier League predictions probably tomorrow or Saturday, and then I shall be doing a stream on my new channel, HCF TV, talking about Hull City and what the transfer news has been and everything. But heart goes out to Plymouth. Love you all, and I hope you stay safe, because it's been horrendous tonight, and just all my hearts go out to the families that have either lost lives or had lives sort of ruined with this incident. And I'm off to make a Plymouth Argyle career mode, because that's another tribute I'm going to be giving to them, making their Plymouth. I've mentioned every Plymouth account I can on my Twitter. Follow my Twitter.
We're gonna wrap it up there, guys. So everyone, thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow, but until then, peace out, guys.
Bye bye.